in the 3 spot in center field. Albert's the cleanup hitter at DH. C.J. Cron at first base. Eric Ibar short. David Freese at third. Carlos Perez once again behind the plate. And Taylor Featherston rounding out that starting 9. He gets the start at second base as they take on the 29-year-old. Yeah, he's still 29 years of age. From Valencia, Venezuela, it's Felix Hernandez.
Yeah, he's been around a long time. A very good pitcher. 17-game winner this year. 4+ pitches, fastball, curve, slider, changeup. But my go-tos to be successful against King Felix: ambush early pitch, especially early in the game. Look for that fastball and jump on it and be creative on the bases. That means try to steal some bases. He's always been susceptible to the stolen base, to go first or third. Be even more aggressive than you normally would be to try to force the issue against Hernandez.
Yeah, the issue being for the Angels is getting on base, especially against Felix Hernandez. Has been an issue all season long, but even more difficult through the 4 starts that Hernandez has had against the Angels already this year. Here's the defense behind Felix tonight. Gutierrez in left field, Miller in center. That's Brad Miller getting the start in center field, the former shortstop, and I guess still is somewhat of a current shortstop. Seth Smith in right, Seager, Marte, Cano, Trumbo around the edges from third to first. Sucre behind the plate.
And Cano, a very solid, still a second baseman, .990 fielding percentage, won a Gold Glove in 2010 and 2012 for the Yankees. And with King Felix on the mound, he's been very valuable as far as turning double plays. It's a combination of 18 double plays turned with Felix on the mound, and Robinson Cano in that field very quick, turning a double play.
Well, as we said, Felix 4 starts against the Angels this year. He's worked a total of 27 innings. He's allowed 14 hits, 2 runs. Those are the 2 solo home runs. 32 strikeouts in those 4 starts, and has walked just 7. It's a guy that early on in his career, the Angels would get to him quite a bit. But still going back to that game at the Big A several years ago in which Mark Trumbo hit that mammoth home run against him. The Angels came back and eventually won that game against Seattle. From that point forward, he has been unbelievably good.
Yeah, we look at those numbers from 06 to 2012. 6-12 is record with an ERA over 4, but since 2013, 1.47 ERA and an 8-1 mark since 2013.
David Murphy looks at a strike to start off this ball game, hitting .285, 8 home runs, 38 runs batted in. Felix usually doesn't waste a whole lot of time as that one evens a count. 1 ball, 1 strike. David getting the start out on left. Breaking ball, cut on and miss.
And that's the one pitch he's used when I look at his numbers this year as far as velocity on the fastball down slightly. Slider still solid, but the amount of curveballs he's been throwing is up this season, along with the changeup being down, so you see more curveballs this season.
Murphy chops one back toward the mound. Felix has it. 1 out.
Hyundai key for this game to be successful against the Mariners and Felix Hernandez. Little Luke Bryan kick the dust up. That means trying to steal bases, go first to third, maybe even force him to field his position, bunt, whatever it takes to get him out of his rhythm. You can't just rely on the long ball against Felix Hernandez. He doesn't throw many mistakes during the course of a game.
Halos over the last 2 games, the 2 losses, of course, devastating one on Sunday, and then the beatdown they took last night, 10-1, and managed a total of 11 hits through those 2 games. Of course, they've got the solo home runs in Sunday's contest, but not enough to hold off the Astros as Cole is ahead of the count at 1-0. Calhoun hitting .266, 23 home runs, 75 runs batted in. There's an off-speed pitch.
With that curveball once again. And what we saw in the past from Felix Hernandez early on, a lot of fastballs, establishing the fastball,
right,
and then gradually gets into slider, curve, and change. He's using his curveball a lot more frequently early in the game than what we've seen.
Like it broke his bat, rolls one to Marte, the shortstop, 2 outs. So with the bases clear and 2 down, here's Trout.
Trout with good career numbers against Felix Hernandez, .344 with 3 home runs.
Looks at strike 1. Mike last night ended up going 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. It's the first time the Angels have changed the top of their order since the 8-22 game against Toronto. It was August 22nd. The Angels started the season with the Calhoun, Trout, Pujols situation. They changed it up, dropping Cole to the number 2 spot and moving everybody down. This one, the rainmaker to left, and it's put away by Gutierrez. And a 1-2-3 inning for Felix Hernandez. One to the bottom of the first with no score. For the first inning, this is what Lloyd McClendon will run out tonight. The Seattle Mariners at 70 and 75 on the season. Ketel Marte leading things off at short. Seager is the third baseman. Nelson Cruz at DH. Robinson Cano is second. Seth Smith had a big game last night. He's in right. Mark Trumbo at first base. Franklin Gutierrez in left field. Brad Miller in center. Jesus Sucre behind the plate, batting ninth as they take on Nick Tropiano, making his 5th start with the Angels this season.
And 1-2 mark with an ERA a little over 5.5 for Nick. My go-to is when you look at his percentage of pitches thrown, fastball 57%, he'll throw a split finger fastball, changeup, which will throw more to left-handed batters, and curve more to right. I still think stay on top of that fastball, use that a little bit more, and get more ground ball outs, and then that sets up the off-speed pitches.
Had a rough outing in his last start. This, of course, is Matt Shoemaker's spot in the rotation. As the first one tonight is in for his trying. Shoemaker, by the way, threw a simulated game today before batting practice. He reevaluated tomorrow, see how he feels, and go from there. Tay slices it foul. It's an 0-2 count. Mentioned that start against the Dodgers for Tropiano. 3 runs, 8 hits, 4 1/3. Had 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. While the line looks okay, just didn't have a whole lot on his pitches, especially the breaking ball. This one line up the middle, and it's a single to lead things off, and he was ahead of the count at 0-2. So the speedy Marte's on board for Kyle Seager. And we will take a look at the Angels defensively tonight. David Murphy at left, Mike Trout at center. Cole Calhoun is in right field. The infield, David Freese and Eric Ibar on the left. Taylor Featherston and C.J. Cron on the right, and Carlos Perez behind the plate once again.
Cole Calhoun out in right field. 18 outfield assists as a right fielder the last 2 seasons. Second most in the major. Only Garcia has more with the White Sox with 20. Big spacious outfield here too. Also safe go field for Calhoun to cover a lot of ground.
First one's outside. Seager hitting .273 with 24 home runs and 66 RBIs. Had a 1-for-5 game last night with a single and a run scored. Marte with 7 stolen bases in 40 games at the major league level. Has been caught twice. They're not very fond of pickoff throws to first base here in Seattle.
I don't think so.
That's early, too. Late in the game, I'd understand. Just settling in, I guess. 1-0. Seager takes an off-speed pitch outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Alan Porter calling the balls and strikes tonight. Brian Lenora at first base. Mark Ripperger at second, and Kerwin Danley at third base. Kerwin had a good strike zone last night.
Pretty consistent.
2-0. Downstairs. 3 balls and no strikes. Seager swings away on 3-0. Skies with a shallow right. Featherston backpedaling out. Gets called off by Calhoun.
Always an easier play for an outfielder coming in on the baseball, though that ball that kept drifting back closer to almost the infield dirt. Much harder for an infielder to go back for that pop-up. Good communication. See how far Cole was playing. He was playing deep. Then calls off Featherston, gets out of the way, makes a nice play. Especially when it's a 3-0 count, you're getting out.
1 out, 1 on, and Nelson Cruz up. Mariner DH kept in check last night, going 1 for 3 with a single and a walk. Did score 2 runs. Marte dealing with the dirt around the first base area. That's why a little bit of a delay. Marte takes off. The pitch is struck to third on the second on the shortstop side and still got it.
Seattle may take a quick look at that, but how quick that release was for Carlos Perez. The transfer has been solid for him. Throwing out 25% of would-be base stealers this year. Pretty good jump by Marte. That quick throw, even on the second shortstop side of the base, but a quick tag by Featherston. How quickly he gets that glove and applies the tag. And he gets him before the foot's on the base.
Nelson Cruz hammers one to straightaway center field. 1-0 Seattle. On an 0-1 pitch, Nelson Cruz extends his career high in home runs to 42.
That's a long way to center field. Well, the conversation was he going to be able to put up those numbers, leaving hitter-friendly Camden Yards in Baltimore, going to a bigger ballpark here in Seattle? Well, he's answered those questions. A breaking ball. Tropiano knew at that point, is hoping somehow that ball will get knocked down, but no chance at all. That ball was crushed at center field.
So the Angels play from behind 1-0 with 2 outs here in the first inning. And fortunately, Perez throws out Marte. Otherwise, we're talking about a 2-0 lead. Chris Davis of the Orioles has been on a tear of late over the last several weeks with the long ball. Nelson Tynum, his former teammate in Baltimore. Good off-speed pitch. 0-2 count on Cano.
See, again, his changeup was set up because he threw a good fastball the pitch before. Tropiano has got a good fastball when he stays on top and creates sink action. He doesn't want to deal with that lateral action on his fastball when he overthrows it. Just think downstairs, think ground ball out.
A 1-ball, 2-strike count on Cano.
And what I see sometimes from Tropiano, when he throws his breaking ball, that front shoulder opens up real quick, and he throws the breaking ball, and the hitter can see that out of his hand a lot longer when that front shoulder opens up. So he kept that front shoulder in well there, but on the breaking ball, it's flying open, and the hitters can see that out of his hand. And that's exactly the type of pitch that Nelson Cruz hit out to center field.
One, two. Outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And the thing is, for Nick Tropiano, you want to keep that front shoulder. That shoulder's already flying open on his breaking ball, and that allows the hitter to track it better.
This one lifted out to shallow left. Murphy was playing in, and he will put it away for the 3rd out. But Seattle strikes early. Nelson Cruz's 42nd of the season. 1-0 Seattle as we head to the 2nd.
It's 1-0 here in the top of the 2nd. This going back to Nick Tropiano when we talked about that front shoulder opening up on the breaking ball location set. That front shoulder is wide open, and he could see that ball. Nelson Cruz could see that slider all the way through out of his hand. What you want as a pitcher, you want deception. That's something you can correct very quickly because he's done it well with his fastball, but his breaking ball, that front shoulder opening up and lets that break ball hang out over the plate.
Albert takes upstairs for ball 1. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Tropiano's slider. It's just an okay breaking pitch to begin with, and all of a sudden it really becomes a cement mixer when you start opening up and start flying open.
Yeah, because his changeup solid, fastball when he stays on top, sink action, but that breaking ball, because your shoulder's flying open, it gives the hitter the entire time to read the rotation of the seams and stay back and then drive. There's no deception.
Albert pulls one towards short. That's Marte. Pulls it into the shift, and there is the 1st out. 4 up, 4 down for Felix Hernandez, leading at 1-0 here in the 2nd. That'll bring up C.J. Cron. Cron hitting .275, 14 home runs, and 42 runs batted in. Set a breaking pitch for a strike. Felix hasn't been his dominant self this year. He's had some games where he has blown up. One game in which he gave him 10 runs, all earned. at Boston. The worst start of his career, lasting just 2 1/3. It was on August 15th. A little dribbler back to the mound. 2 outs. He also had a game in which he gave up 8 runs. That was back on June the 12th at Houston. 1/3 of an inning.
The opponents are hitting 240. Most people would take
like
that.
Yes, exactly.
But not Felix Hernandez. I mean, he's given up 163 hits in 183 innings pitched, which is still pretty solid. But then you add in 49 walks, so he's averaging more than a base runner per inning, which is unusual for him.
He's had 3 consecutive victories, 2 against Oakland, 1 against Texas. His Ibar bunts it foul for strike 1. Again, he has dialed it up against the Angels. There's no denying it. And that goes back to that game. Comfortable lead for Seattle at the Big A, an afternoon game, if I recall. Trumbo hit that mammoth home run to left center. No balls, 2 strikes.
Well, I'm looking at the percentage of pitches he's thrown now. This is according to Fangraphs. He's throwing a lot less fastballs this year. Now you can see that more of that curveball we saw right there. He's throwing 22%, 28% changeups, and 6% sliders. And that pitch was pretty close to his strike itself upstairs, though, but only 44% of his pitches this year, fastball.
Breaking pitch out toward left. Halos go down in order. We'll head to the bottom of the second with Seattle leading it 1-0. September 25th, the Angels take it on the Seattle Mariners at 7:05, and fans in attendance will receive a boot mug courtesy of Shock Top Wall Supplies. Last, get your tickets at the stadium box office, or you can buy them online.
It's a great view. What a great city this is, Seattle. Great ballpark here, Safeco. As usual, lots and lots and lots of Angel fans here at the ballpark.
Seen their Angels send 6 batters up, and all 6 have been retired. Seth Smith takes a mammoth hack on the first pitch from Nick Tropiano.
Yeah, we talked about this in the pregame show. When you're facing Seth Smith, if you're Tropiano, this is when you want to use that changeup. He's geared up for a fastball. Even last night when he hit that double off the wall against Richards, the pitch before was a slow curveball. He's way out in front.
Smith had a 2-for-5 game last night with a home run, a double, 3 RBIs. Behind in the count at 0-2. .251 this year with 11 home runs and 40 runs batted and 30 doubles as well. 5 triples. It's a pretty good season for the man. But, I don't think they thought was going to get this many plate appearances. Looking as a bench guy, so lefty bat,
platoon type player, but he's been solid. Man, when you throw him a fastball, it's going to be hit hard.
Check swing and he lays off. It's 2-2. Well, good off speed pitch down goes Smith. 1 down.
That changeup right there between his changeup and split finger fastball. We'll have to try that pitch often against Smith tonight. Great action on that pitch out in front, could not make contact.
Trouble getting to start tonight at first base. Takes a strike. Mark was out in left field last night. Ended up going 2 for 4 with a single and a double. The double he hit was off the top of the wall in right center. 261 this season as that breaking ball's in the dirt. Gets by Carlos. 12 home runs, 37 runs batted in. Trumbo's 81st game with Seattle. He started the year with Arizona. Two balls, 1 strike. Gutierrez on deck. Here's a 3-1. Trumbo swings and misses on the changeup. Full count.
Great location, good speed.
Throw him another one.
No question. He's still gearing up for a fastball. A lot of times as a hitter, though, you got to assume it's going to be something off speed if you threw a 3-1. It's going fastball, though.
He takes a called strike 3. Trumbo thought it was ball 4. It did catch the strike zone. 2 outs, so back-to-back strikeouts for Nick.
So clearly Trumbo was looking off speed on a 3-1 changeup, and then a fastball paints the outside corner. Stayed on top of that pitch very well. Tropiano did.
Franklin Gutierrez, the left fielder. 309 average with 12 home runs, 31 RBIs. 47 games this year. Pretty good ratio. 12 home runs in 47 games. Been missing a considerable amount of time over the last several years due to a number of ailments.
Really a great story to his playing at this point. Looked like it was going to be done for him.
Three balls, no strikes.
Played all in 2014, winning 41 games in 2013, 40 in 2012. You're talking about a guy at one point playing center field can go get a baseball as well as any center fielder in baseball.
And he walks him with 2 outs. 2 strikeouts to start the inning, and then he walks Gutierrez, and will bring up Miller. Miller getting the start tonight out at center field. John O'Malley, his little knot on the side of his head after getting hit on that throw by Carlos Perez at second base yesterday. He's fine, but they wanted to give him a time off so that he's 100%. So Miller gets a start out there. He's hit .252 this year with 9 home runs and 41 runs batted in.
Sean right there. A nice job for Seattle.
Bat goes flying. Just past Chris Woodward, the first base coach.
Old school, no batting gloves. Pretty good toss. Past the coach's box down there, first base.
Fouls this one off, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. One nothing Seattle on the home run by Nelson Cruz in the first inning. Gutierrez with a pretty good lead at first. Miller skies with the right. Hit well. Cole racing toward the corner, but this one hooks foul.
1-2 pitch. And that's that breaking ball that doesn't have a lot of sharpness to it. Not a lot of tilt to that breaking ball. You want to stay on top and create downward action, not lateral action, especially going into the barrel of the bat.
Down goes Miller as Tropiano strikes out the side. 2 complete, 1-0 Mariners. As they hit a home run in the first inning. Nelson Cruz with his 42nd of the season. just adding to his career high. On the other side, Felix Hernandez has faced 6. He's retired 6. 4 ground ball outs and 2 flyouts. He'll face Freese, Perez, and Featherston here in the third. David hitting .254 with 11 home runs and 48 RBIs. Over 2 last night. He gets hit by a pitch here.
It's back-to-back days for Freese getting hit almost like same exact spot.
You know what? And David, now everyone's being warned here. And you know why they're being warned? And Lloyd McClendon and Mike Scioscia is certainly going to say something about this. It's because Freese, after getting hit by a pitch, spun around and looked at Scioscia and said something to Scioscia, and Alan Porter heard it. He's trying to nip it in the bud.
That's the exact same spot as the night before. I'll tell you what, if that's the case now with both managers being warned, that's an advantage for the Angels. You think about it, now you've taken away that potential fastball in off the plate by Felix Hernandez in this game. Tony La Russa used to be the master at that.
Lloyd McClendon gets the explanation, but this is what I was talking about. He gets hit here, and then he looks at Scioscia, and he's talking to Scioscia. Alan Porter's right there, and obviously he wants to make sure that nothing escalates from this. So David's at first base with nobody out. Now, it doesn't mean necessarily that any pitch is thrown inside, it's automatic ejections. The hit and run is on here, slow roller to short. Trey barehands it and no play first. Infield base hit for Carlos Perez.
And what do we say about getting guys in motion right away? Mike Scioscia does so. Yeah, now it's up to the umpire if he feels that a pitcher threw the ball in off the plate on purpose.
Yeah.
Great jump there for Freese, too, and putting that ball in play. That's all you want to do as a hitter is put the ball in play on the ground. And he ends up getting a base hit out of it. Now you have a situation, again, we're going to talk about manufacturing a run. You have to square around now if you're Featherston and get the job done.
Yeah, I will say this about Freese and turning around. It's good to see someone show some emotion.
Yeah.
And get chapped about something.
Yeah, sometimes even if you say, he might have turned around and said, hey, listen, somebody's got to pick me up here.
Right.
I mean, it's back-to-back games. I get hit in the upper part of my shoulder. We've always talked about Freese being a leader. He's fairly quiet when you see him on the bench, but not so when you see him in the clubhouse.
Featherston bunts through the first one, so it's an 0-1 count. A hit by pitch and an infield base hit. 2 on, nobody on. Featherston hitting .154 with a home run and 7 runs batted in. Oh, 2.
It's an interesting approach, too, for Featherston. At the start of it, he has one hand off the bat. He's starting around, he doesn't have, then he gets the hand on the bat, and then he's trying to bunt and break a ball off the plate.
I mean, it's not automatic. You don't have to bunt if it's not a strike.
If it's not a strike. And I think Mike Scioscia is going to ask him to do the same again. You know, Felix with 8 wild pitches this year, always amongst the leaders in that category.
Featherston goes down for the first out, a strikeout. Unable to get the bat on the ball. So the runners remain at first and second.
And you talk about trying to stab at the baseball. You're trying to play catch with the bat when you're asked to square around and bunt. Anytime you tilt that bat like that, it becomes more difficult. So you try to keep it level and just play catch. Especially all those pitches were down. Much easier to bunt on a pitch down in the strike zone as compared to an up and in fastball.
Murphy hooks one out to right field. This one's got a chance, and it'll go off the top of the wall and gone. Big fly for David Murphy, a 3-run shot, and the Angels lead it 3-1.
That's home run number 4 in his career for Murphy, and Mike Scioscia looking smart there, putting him at the top of the order. Coming up with 2 on, driving a 3-run home run. Oh, Felix Hernandez, that's the 20th home run he has allowed this year for Felix Hernandez. Changeup, didn't go away, stayed middle part of the plate. And off the top of the wall and out for a 3-run home run.
So the bases are clear, 1 out, and here's Cole Calhoun. Grounded out his first time up, takes a big rip at that fastball.
That quick conversation there with Mike Sosa. Just that little fire. I mean, we talked about David Freese. I mean, this guy's won an MVP of the World Series, an MVP of the NLCS. He's a guy with some energy. I mean, even on the pregame show, he talked about how much fun it is to play these games, meaningful games, in the month of September.
It's not a, you know what, Gilby, you've been around it, especially at this level, much more than I ever have, but it's not the fact that he thinks Felix is doing something on purpose. He's tired of getting drilled. He's tired of guys pitching up and in on him, and he wants someone to show some sort of emotion or retaliation.
Yeah.
And I'm not condoning throwing at guys, but I'm just saying it gets old after a while.
Yeah.
This team has had its issues all season long, and this is an opportunity to kind of answer back. And, you know, like I said, it's good to finally see someone show some emotion.
Yeah, I've been on some teams where, you know, some of your players have been hit a number of times. Finally, they turn around and go, hey, how about one of their guys feeling what I'm feeling right now as I go down to first base?
Right.
Now, there's no doubt that it was not on purpose. There's no reason for Felix to throw that in and hit him on purpose, but that doesn't matter. He's got hit back-to-back games in a row, same spot. Didn't squarely hit him, but it's up in the upper shoulder and it's around your head area.
Cole bounces it foul, so the count remains full.
And when have we seen that fire? We haven't seen that in a while. I mean, you had that extremely difficult game at the end on Sunday and a tough one yesterday. You need one of your guys, your leaders, to step forward. Maybe that's the kind of spark you need from Freese.
Cole goes down swinging. 2 out, second strikeout for Felix. There's plenty of bodies, especially with the September call-ups now. What you're looking for is the team to come together. You know, I mean, it's a long season. There's no doubt it's a grind, but really haven't seen that cohesiveness for a long stretch of time, except maybe the 2 weeks in and around the All-Star break.
And how often do you see as the hockey season is getting close now, where they send out that fourth line, that energy line to create some type of excitement in the rink there, and when all of a sudden your star players can sense that themselves. You need that kind of spark.
3 balls, no strikes on Trout, who hit a fly ball to left in the first.
And he's one of those times for me right now for Trout. He doesn't swing at it. We talked about it so often, that 3-0 pitch. If you get a fastball right now, let it go.
That's a pitcher's pitch off the plate. Now, gets called strike.
Yeah, that one you don't let it go. That's a little. It's pretty much on the outside part of the plate, if indeed even it touches it. But still, you expect some kind of fastball here from Hernandez.
(3-1) off the plate. It's a walk with 2 outs.
Well, in the conversation here in Seattle is Felix really wants that opportunity to win 20 games this year. 17-game winner right now at this point. He's thinking about that. He's never won 20 games in a season in his career. As good as he's never been in that plateau. So that's on his mind. And when you think a little bit too far ahead, that's when you can make a mistake or two, and he certainly did so to David Murphy.
Albert grounded out to lead off the second. Breaking ball for a strike. And even with Albert up, Trout should go.
Yeah, no question. Like I said, you got to press the issue. Felix Hernandez doesn't make many mistakes, so if you're going to sit back and hope he makes another one here, he may indeed at some point, but you got to press the issue.
Albert lifts one out to right. Long run in for Seth Smith, who was playing deep. That'll be the third out of the inning. But the Angels strike for 3 runs. A hit by pitch, a walk, and a 3-run blast off the bat of David Murphy.
It's a perfect swing for Murphy. Went down and got a 4th career home run against Felix Hernandez.
Tweet us your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag WestDataStrongFan. You just might see yourself in an upcoming Angels broadcast, and it's brought to you by T-Mobile. Three to one Halos, bottom of the third inning. 9-1-2 coming up for Seattle. Sucre, Marte, and Seager face Nick Tropiano at 3 strikeouts in the second. With a 2-out walk sandwiched in there. Sucre behind the plate tonight, batting a nice spot, hitting 126 with a home run and 4 runs batted in.
Pretty interesting, that first pitch off the plate in.
It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Just trying to establish the pitch inside.
And now it's all up to Alan Porter determining what's intentional, what's not. As far as ejections, both benches warned. So if it is determined that someone did throw something intentional, not only the pitcher is ejected, but also the manager. 2-1. Down and in. 3 balls and a strike.
Very important inning for Tropiano to put up a 0.
Down the line, foul. So full count now on the 9th place hitter. John Hicks got the start behind the plate last night. Sucre tonight. Ketel Marte, the shortstop, on deck. That's a little too hot for Eric Ibar. One down. Hey folks, September 25th, the Angels will host Oktoberfest in the Game 1 Music Garden. Come enjoy live German music, dancing, and beer tasting from Sam Adams and Firestone. Purchase your tickets today at Angels Stadium Ticket Office or Angels.com. It's good luck.
Just getting ready.
You should tape that read having you dance.
Oh, yeah, that'd be perfect.
I think so.
Yeah.
Marte and a base hit in the first inning. Looks at a strike. That changeup. One ball, two strikes. Stropiano giving up a home run to Nelson Cruz in the first. Fouled off.
Good idea to run that two-seamer in. Now you got two options. You can go back in with a fastball inside because he's going to be looking away, or you can go back out with that changeup.
This one line to left center, a base hit. Murphy is there, gets it back in, and Marte with his second hit of the night.
And he went back in with that two-seam fastball, but it ran out over the plate. That's when you try to throw your four-seamer to stay true on the inside corner because he's looking for that fastball to leak out over the plate.
Seager hit a fly ball to right on a 3-0 pitch in the first inning. Third baseman's 0 for 1. Takes outside. The Astros and the Rangers locked up in Arlington. It's a 5-5 tie. That game's in the 7th. Minnesota trailing the Tigers 4-3, and that game's in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, 1 point down. 4-1. Two pickoffs this year already for Carlos Perez on the back pick. Marte drifting off, trying to get a secondary lead. A quick throw. And if he gets that tag on him, he's out. But he kind of little back tag hits the base before he gets that hand in there, though. Difficult play for a first baseman, though.
Two-0. Takes a strike, 2-1. Marte throwing down in the first inning, trying to steal second. Third time he's been thrown out. An attempted stolen base. Cruz on deck. Seager with a 3-ball, 1-strike count. 3-1 Angels here in the third. Seager hits one high and deep to right center field. Calhoun racing back to the track, and at the wall will make the catch. Marte hustles back to first base. Seager hit it to that part of the fence where it just juts out to 380, and it stays in the yard. It's out number 2.
That's knowing the dimensions of the visiting ballpark there for Tropiano. Right down the heart of the plate, fastball. Seager thinking he got that one. Calhoun's back to the wall, trying to almost look like he was ready to time his leap. It gets back up against the wall and gets it in quickly. Nice play by Cole.
So 2 outs and a man at first, and here's Cruz, who homered to straightaway center field in the first inning. His 42nd of the year, picked up his 88th RBI. He drives one out to right. Playable for Cole. And Tropiano with a shutdown inning. 3 complete, 3-1 Halos. Angels lead at top of the 4th inning. Hey, I want to remind you, Fox Sports West and the Angels are excited to announce you can download and use the Angels' new player emojis using your iPhone or Android device through Thursday. This week, we will be unveiling 1 new player emoji during each game broadcast. Tonight, we're unveiling C.J. Cron. Looks just like him. Log on angels.com/emoji. Download it now. Cron, Ibar, and Freeze. C.J. bouncer back to the mound in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 1. Felix Hernandez with 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, both happening in the 3rd. 2 hits allowed also in the 3rd. Breaking ball caught the inside corner, 2-2.
Some good numbers here in Seattle. 3 home runs, 6 RBI. Not a lot of success though against Felix Hernandez. Is 1 for 12.
Fastball. Sucre thought he had a punch out, as did Felix.
It's a pretty good pitch, just touching that lower part of the strike zone according to our Fox tracks.
Bouncer foul. Count remains at 3-2. High bar on deck. Throw goes down on the slider. 1 out.
That's a pretty nasty pitch. Stay back on that one well and snap that breaking ball off the outside part of the plate. Talked about 4+ pitches for Felix Hernandez. Fastball, slider, curve, and changeup. But his best pitch may be his changeup.
Ivo hit a fly ball to left field to end the second inning, so he's 0 for 1. Able to count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Good bite to the breaking pitches tonight, so far anyway, for Felix. 2-2 pitch. Chopper to short. 2 down.
He just creates such good balance over the pitching rubber. That hip turn, staying tall in that pitching rubber. That's why he throws all his pitches so well, especially down in the strike zone. Games over 500 when he starts. Freese has been a big part of that lineup, presence, leadership.
Hit by a pitch. He chops this one to short. So the 1, 2, 3, 4th. We'll head to the bottom of the inning with the Angels still up 3-1.
Angels baseball is brought to you by the Dodge Charger with an EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon. This car was made for driving in California. Visit Dodge.com. By AT&T Uverse, more live channels on the go than cable. And by Infinity, luxury cars that delivered inspired performance.
3-1 Halos as we start the bottom of the fourth inning. Cano, Smith, and Trumbo coming up for Seattle. Tropiano with 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 hits allowed. The home run to Cruz and a single to Marte in the first inning. Then another single by Marte in the third.
Falling behind some very dangerous hitters. It's eager to pop out on a 3-0 pitch.
Cano takes a strike. Hit a fly ball to left field in the first inning. It's a leadoff walk to start the fourth. Smith struck out to lead off the second. He's 0 for 1. Grounded with 10 double plays this year. He's been having some issues running. With the abdominal issue, abdominal strain. It's interesting that it doesn't bother him to swing the bat, but the running motions where it really
it is that catches. Big surprise.
Off speed, rolled towards second. Featherston goes to second base for 1. And Cano with an interesting slide there.
Take out of the dirt.
Well, he had plenty of time. Featherston did. It almost looked like he wasn't even going to throw to second base.
Yeah, he's got a chance right away. Took a little bit of time in the throw, and then that slide. I guess he was anticipating a relay throw there to take him out.
Fielder's choice for Smith. 1 out. Here's Trumbo. He hits one out toward left field. Murphy moving back on it onto the track, makes the catch. 2 down.
Just a little bit off towards the end of the bat. Kept it in the yard.
Smith back to first. And it'll bring up Gutierrez. Gutierrez worked a walk in the second with 2 outs. Stranded at first. Has line toward the alley of left center field. Murphy trying to cut it off, and he will do so. Racing to third base is Seth Smith. He's being waved in. No throw to the plate. Ibar, for whatever reason, went to second. No communication whatsoever. It's an RBI single. Smith scoring from first. 3-2 Angels.
And that's when you, as a cutoff man, you got to hear from somebody letting you know that there's a play at the plate. And Gutierrez went down and got that fastball out over the plate, middle of the plate. And Murphy cuts it from that angle, tries to get it in quickly. The slight hesitation gets it into Ibar, but there's no communication to let him know. And right away, you can see them setting him home. There's no hesitation there.
Miller pops it up on the infield. Ibar comes in. Featherston calls for it, makes the catch, and it's the third out. Seattle gets a run on that single by Franklin Gutierrez. We'll head to the fifth inning. It's 3-2 Angels.
Here in the top of the fifth inning. And after that inning, right away, Mike Scioscia's talking to Taylor Featherston about what you're supposed to do as far as communication. Right away, saying right away, let Eric know that there's a play at the plate. And Eric coming over the same thing. I got to be able to hear something. Give me, say, 4 or home, something in that nature where I can have my body turned around in preparation from the throw from David Murphy, even positioned to throw the ball home. Credit Rich Donnelly, the third base coach for Seattle. Really, that's a run that he helped get by sending Seth Smith home all the way from first on a single.
Yeah, the alignment was set up to go to second base with Murphy cutting it off as Carlos fouls the first one back.
Because when you know there's going to be a play at the plate as a cutoff man in the outfield, you're already starting to turn your body in position. So that's a straight line throw to home plate as a shortstop, or if it's in right field as a second baseman.
It's a twofold issue where Ibar, especially after Murphy cuts that ball off, probably should be peeking back just to see where Smith is at. But Featherston being at second base, this one down the line, that is past Seager. Carlos with his second hit of the game. This one will ricochet back out, but it's going to be an easy double for Perez. A leadoff one to start the fifth, but just to finish my thought on Featherston, he absolutely should be yelling because he's peeking around to see where Gutierrez is at, if he's coming to second base, and if you have a play there or not.
And you got to assume if you're Eric going out there, especially with Seth Smith running, who runs pretty well, but he's not necessarily a base stealer
from first.
Yes, from first base, and David Murphy's able to cut that one off. Granted, the angle he took allowed him certainly to get to third base. But because of that, the way Eric went out to the outfield, that's why Rich Donnelly, the third base coach, sent him home.
Featherston tries to bunt for the fourth time tonight. Comes up fouling this one back. Taylor struck out on the third. Able to get the sacrifice down.
And he's moved his hands up a little bit different again, moving the bat all around. It's almost like he's trying to like catch a knuckleball. Just keep that bat still.
There's a bunt, deads it, and now Perez hung up between second and third. Featherston will get the second. There's nobody covering. But because that ball was close to the plate, perhaps not a very good secondary lead for Carlos. He had to slam on the brakes because Sucre got to that baseball quickly.
Fortunate enough, got into a long enough rundown to allow Featherston to get to second base. Yeah, there's going to be a play at third. There's no question there's going to be a play at third because that ball's bunted still in the dirt area around home plate. Again, credit Carlos for being in that rundown long enough to allow Featherston to get into scoring position himself.
Murphy will bat here with 1 out, 1 on. David 1 for 2. 3-run home run in the third inning. Chops this one to short. Featherston will advance to third. 2 outs. Cole Calhoun 0 for 2. Ground out and a strikeout. Halos with 3 runs in the third on the home run by Murphy, his 9th of the year. Seattle with solo runs the first and fourth as Cole bounces this one to the right side. Foot race with Felix covering. And did he get the foot on the bag? He did, according to Brian Lenora. Mike Scioscia might have a look at it just to make sure. Mariners are walking off the field as if to say that they certainly did touch the bag, and no argument from Scioscia. So that's the third out of the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning with the Angels up 3-2. Telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. 9-1-2 against Nick Tropiano here at the bottom of the 5th with the Angels up 3-2. Sucre, Marte, and Stevens. This one shot out toward right center field. Cole moving over will track it down for the first down. Sucre 0 for 2 now on the night.
7 fly ball outs for Tropiano in this game. The reason why I point that out, he's a very good when he's on his game. Ground ball pitcher with his sink on his fastball, the two-seamer. Two pitches in a row, the lower part of the strike zone did not get called. One a curveball, that a changeup.
Marte 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Downstairs. Full count. Game in Texas is still 5-5 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Texas batting with 2 outs and a man in scoring position. Check swing foul. Minnesota still trailing the Tigers 5-3. That game's the bottom of the 9th at Target Field. Angels will head to Minneapolis after tomorrow night's game. Get into the Twin Cities at about 5 a.m. or thereabouts Thursday morning to play that night. Marte takes a called strike 3 and he knew it. 2 down.
Yeah, he painted that fastball right on the outside corner.
4th strikeout for Tropiano.
Good target set by Perez. Keeps that glove there. That's the important thing. You don't try to move it back into the strike zone. Just keep it there. Give that umpire a good view and gets the call.
Seager takes outside of the breaking ball. 0 for 2 tonight. A couple of fly balls to right. The last one to the wall in right center field. Just in front of the 380-foot sign. The changeup, 1-1. The Angels in the 6th inning of Trout, Pujols, and Cron coming up to face Felix Hernandez. 3 balls and a strike. Nelson Cruz on deck. Change if that was up. Tropiano vying for his first 1-2-3 inning. Payoff pitch to Seager. And he walked it. Still down a 1-2-3 inning. And now Cruz will bat with 2 outs and a man on. It's the 3rd walk issued by Nick to go with 4 strikeouts.
Nelson Cruz is now tied for the Major League lead with 42 home runs. Led Major League Baseball with 40 home runs last year with the Orioles. Only 2 players have ever led in consecutive years as far as home runs and playing for 2 teams. Babe Ruth and Mark McGwire were the other 2.
Cruz rockets one foul. Almost gets Brian O'Nora. I looked up the Babe Ruth number too, 29 with Boston, and then the following season, his first of a couple of 50 homer seasons. He had 54 with the Yankees.
Was he still pitching at that point with Boston?
That was 1919, 1920, back to back. Yeah, still pitching. 17 games with Boston, 15 starts. Was 9-5 that year with a 2.97 ERA and 29 bombs.
It's incredible.
Yeah. 94 wins as a pitcher. Cruz takes a strike at the knees, 0-2. Tropiano gets him to chase the breaking ball, and it's a third out here in the fifth. 5 complete. The Angels maintain their 1-run lead.
The SoCal Land Rover game summary. Nelson Cruz. It's a home run to center field, getting the Mariners on the board early. That's his 42nd, which ties for the Major League lead. And then David Murphy continues to swing the bat well against He goes. That's a 3-run home run. And then Seattle gets a run back on a single by Gutierrez, and then scores Seth Smith all the way from first. Communication there in the middle of the infield for Featherston and Guybar, and Mike Socha telling Featherston that right away you have to tell Eric to allow him to get in position to make a throw to the plate.
Trout leads things off. He'll be followed by Albert Pujols and then C.J. Cron here in the 6th inning. Felix Hernandez with 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 hits allowed. Trout a fly ball to left and a walk. Oh, 2. Felix had 4 starts against the Angels this year prior to tonight and allowed a total of 2 runs. Allowed 3 tonight. And Trout hits one out toward left center field. Towering shot. Miller back at the wall. That is long gone. Big fly for Mike Trout, makes it 4-2.
That, folks, is an 0-2 pitch that Trout hits out. Both hitters in the lineup tonight for the Halos have had success against Felix, especially with the long ball. Both have hit home runs tonight. David Murphy and now Mike Trout. They want to go fastball upstairs. You see the target set upstairs. But Trout ready, hits that one well out to left center field. Nice play.
That's the 36th home run of the season for Trout, tying a career high set last year. and his 78th RBI.
Well, we showed it in the opening tonight. Not a lot of runs scored against Felix, but it's been the long ball on both home runs. Got that fastball out in front. Talk about getting that extension with the barrel of the bat. And it's always been the discussion, can Trout catch up to a high fastball? Well, he did on that one.
Albert grounds this one to third. One out. Cool, so for 3 now.
It's a big run right there, too. Talk about adding on.
Corona's 0 for 2. A bouncer back to the mound and a strikeout. CJ would like to have that pitch back. Just off the plate. 70th pitch of the night for Felix Hernandez. Both guys very manageable pitch counts. Piano fairly quick, even though he drew a walk in the 5th inning, but a fairly quick 5th inning.
It's a pitch he got C.J. Cron out with last at bat. Break a ball off the outside corner.
So I'm saying that 1-0 fastball, I don't know what took that one right down the middle. Another breaking ball. Down low with the off speed.
Yeah, his changeup is 88 to 90 miles an hour. Even though it's still a firm fastball, that's your best bet to square something up against Felix Hernandez is his fastball.
Cron works the walk off the plate with a fastball. Second free pass issued by Felix. And Eric Ibarra will come to the plate with 1 out, 1 on.
You wonder if Mike Scioscia at some point won't put a hit and run on now, because Eric handles the bat well, can hit the ball on the ground.
Ibarra 0 for 2 with a fly ball to left and a ground ball to short. Cron takes off. The hit and run is on, and Eric fouls it off. Dino Abel and Mike Scioscia had a long conversation down in the dugout. Dino's not afraid to bring stuff up to Mike.
That's important as a bench coach. You want to have, sometimes you have a difference of opinion, and have that ability to express that to the manager is very important.
Cron takes off again. Another hit and run. Little bouncer up the line. That's a fair ball. Get it? Ibarra retired for round number 2. Pretty good play. Heads up play by Trumbo, because he came in and cut that ball off before it went foul.
Cron going. It's tough in between hops too.
Cron ends up in scoring position. 2 outs. David Freese up. David hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. Grounded out in the 4th. Oh, 1. Out and away. Mike Trout, the leadoff home run here in the 6th to make it 4-2.
I'm pretty excited about a first pitch strike, I think. Here, safe going.
They would
start playing some tunes.
Straight to the dance music.
Yes.
I just love the randomness behind it. Home run for Trout is 36th. Lays off. Didn't go. 2 balls and a strike. And Salas, Jose Alvarez.
Robinson Cano leading off. You might see Alvarez start off the inning.
Went around that time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Back-to-back lefties for Seattle to start the bottom of the 6th inning. Cano and Smith. Trumbo after them. 2-2 now to Freese. And his fastball misses inside, full count.
Yeah, that was off the inside corner. At least according to our Fox tracks. By about a half a baseball off the corner. Gotta believe he's going to go back outside with a breaking ball now.
Three-two. Breaking ball got him. Locked him up on the breaking pitch. The Angels up by the score of 4-2. When we come back, we'll find out about some of the Angels players and coaches' favorite NFL teams on Gooby Tuesday.
Season is upon us. Who is your favorite team? And I need some help.
Oh, Gooby, there's no question. I think America's team, the Philadelphia Eagles. We know that they're the team. Although we'll just watch them with kind of a semi passing interest because we're still in a pennant race. They're America's team. We know that.
So there's only one America's team then, and it's the Philadelphia Eagles.
Of course, America. What's the symbol? It's the eagle.
Favorite team is definitely the Lions. They better win it all. You know, they're finally putting it together. Been a playoff team the last couple of years, so definitely Detroit Lions.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. Always been a huge fan of them, and I got to go Pittsburgh.
I think Mike Scioscia said it best, by the way, as the Angels lead us with 4-2. America's team.
You are so full of garbage. It's unbelievable.
Just ask Mike Trout.
So Scioscia, and so is Trout. America's team.
It's the Eagle, or as we would say back there, the Eagle.
The Eagles, they were grounded yesterday by the Falcon.
Oh, they're just getting that was just a dress rehearsal.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
The 0-1 dress rehearsal.
Yes.
As we take a look
Take
at
on the other so-called America's team this week.
I don't buy that either. In and out. Who's in, who's out? Jose Alvarez takes over for Nick Tropiano here at the bottom of the 6th inning.
Okay, Kansas City Chief guy.
That's right. That's right. But I'm not claiming anything about All-American anything. Although I could. 54th game, 4-3
So you're
record.
jumping on the Eagles too. I don't blame you. Nice job by Nick Tropiano tonight.
5 innings, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, 2 runs. They were earned. He gave up the home run to Cruz in the first. RBI single in the 4th inning to Gutierrez. Cano, fly ball to left and a walk. One ball, one strike. Ground ball to the left side. Freeze has it. One away. It'll bring up Seth Smith. Opponents have hit 235 against Alvarez this year. Lefties 231. Righties 237. Well, likely last batter here for Alvarez. With Salas ready to go to the pen and Trumbo on deck. Smith 0 for 2. Strikeout on the fielder's choice. Hustled home from first base on the single with the 4th inning by Gutierrez to the alley in left center. No 1. Bouncer to the right side. Crone's got it. Alvarez covered. 2 outs. Socha not moving, so perhaps Alvarez will go a full inning. Trumbo, the first baseman tonight, 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly ball to left. Would have liked to have seen Tropiano work deeper into the game, just to give the bullpen some rest. That bullpen has been used a lot since the beginning of August. Not his choice, I'm sure.
Some good adjustments though made in this game by Tropiano. Established his fastball, had a good action on that one. Solid changeup.
Tropiano threw 83 pitches, 48 for strikes. They're at the bottom of the 9th in Arlington, 5-5. Texas with the man on, nobody out. 2 balls, 1 strike. Minnesota lost to the Tigers. Minnesota just ahead of the Angels in the wild card race. Cleveland immediately behind the Angels in the wild card race. Lost tonight. They got shut out by Kansas City 2-0. Not their chances. The off-speed pitch, and it's 2-2. Trumbo goes down swinging at Alvarez with a 1-2-3 6th. We'll head to the 7th. Halos up 4-2. Baseball is brought to you by Mercury Insurance, on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. By the Palazzo, Las Vegas, where every key unlocks a suite. And by Hyundai. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today. Beautiful, cool night here in the Emerald City. Game 2 of this 3-game set. The Angels using the long ball tonight against Felix Hernandez. A 3-run blast by David Murphy the third. A solo shot by Mike Trout leading off the 6th inning, giving the Angels a 4-2 lead. Felix, 81 pitches through 6. 4 strikeouts and 2 walks. He'll face 8, 9, and 1 here the 7th. Perez, Featherston, and Murphy. That was Perez, 2 for 2 with a single and a double. He shoots this one out toward left center field. Brad Miller racing back there, not going to get there. A 2-hopper up against the fence, and Carlos with a 3-hit game. Back-to-back doubles for him.
Well, not many hitters have had 3-hit games against Felix Hernandez. A breaking ball, slider that time, it backed up on him. And Miller unable to track that one down. Big leadoff double, try to add on right now.
First career 3-hit game for Carlos. Now with 11 doubles on the year. He's in scoring position for Taylor Featherston. And you wonder if Mike Scioscia's going to ask him to try to bunt once again. Bunts through that one, throw to second, and safe as he gets the hand back there. Quick tag by Marte.
Hope that hand is okay. Looked like he might have jammed it on the base.
Yeah, Sucre wants a little interference on the part of Featherston. That was a fastball that ran down and in. And Lloyd McClendon is out to talk with Alan Porter.
He runs that fastball in, and he stumbled, there's no doubt, across the plate. And you don't necessarily have to make contact with him. But it's a judgment call. It's not a reviewable call.
So Featherston continues to have issues trying to put the ball in play via the bunt. 0 for 2 tonight. No balls, 2 strikes.
And still trying a lot of movement, just jabbing at the baseball. You just kind of keep it level and you track it with your eyes. Don't try to track that baseball with the bat. You track it with your eyes and then bring the bat down and then put that ball on that infield grass.
Swinging away here. Count remains at 0-2. Four strikeouts for Felix, and there's a group of Mariner fans chanting for one more bunt with Featherston at the plate. Pulls it foul.
Felix is doing the right thing. He's pitching inside to force him to pull that ball to the left side of the infield instead of the right side. You go away, you can hit that ball to the right side and get the job done.
Leadoff man David Murphy on deck. Perez with a leadoff double. Featherston chops this one to the left side. Seager's down. One down.
And now it's time for Tools of the Trade. Brought to you by Ram Trucks with David Murphy coming to the plate. Back in the 3rd inning with 2 on. David Murphy, a change up that was down inner half, dropped the head of the bat, drives it out for a 3-run home run. His 4th career home run against King Felix, giving him now 19 RBI against him.
Texas Rangers walk off on the Houston Astros 6-5. Texas in first place by half a game over the Astros.
Well, Houston really would be reeling if they had not come back against the Angels in that game on Sunday with 5 runs in the 9th.
Two balls, no strikes on David Murphy. Murphy, 6th career leadoff start tonight. 1 for 3 with that 3-run blast in the 3rd inning off the top of the wall in right. Led off twice for the Red Sox in 06, twice for Texas. 2010. Home run that he hit in the 3rd inning, his 9th. Tried to hold up, couldn't do so. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fernando Salas getting ready to pitch his 7th inning. Seattle has the bottom 3rd of the order coming up. 2-2 to Murphy. He goes down swinging. 2 outs.
My Hyundai key for this game to be successful against King Felix and the Mariners. Go back and kick the dust up. They've tried some motion today. A couple hit and run opportunities. Came down to the long ball though. A 3-run home run and a solo shot where they've scored, but they've pressured Felix Hernandez a number of times today, which is important to do.
Cole fouls this one back. 0 for 3 tonight with a ground down, 2 ground outs and a strikeout. Dirt gets away from Sucre, but Carlos holds it second. One pitch. Down and in. Nice block by the Mariner catcher.
We're throwing breaking ball. So you got him pretty good, especially around belt area. And that spin in the breaking ball, tried to keep that in front, gave up his body to keep it in front of him.
Two, 1, broken bat roller to second. That'll do it. The Angels waste a leadoff double. Stretch time in Seattle. Halo still up 4-2. 4-2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. I want to remind you that on September 27th, it's Fan Appreciation Day. Join us when the Angels take on the Mariners at 12:35. All fans in attendance will have a chance to win great prizes from Apple Vacations, Monster, and Nexon Tire. Purchase your tickets at the stadium box office, or you can find them online. New pitcher here in the bottom of the 7th. The Angels send out Fernando Salas, who takes over for Jose Alvarez. Alvarez with a 1-2-3 6th inning. Fernando to face the bottom third of the order. Gutierrez, Miller, and Sucre. 62nd game, 3-2 record, and a 4.34 ERA. With warnings having been issued to both sides, Alan Porter goes out to the mound and let Fernando know what's going on. Colin Cowgill, the new left fielder for the Angels, takes over for David Murphy. First one in for a strike. Gutierrez 1 for 1, a walk and an RBI single. Fernando pitched Sunday's game. Scoreless 6th inning. Falls behind here, 2 balls and 1 strike. Four runs, 5 hits, no errors. The Angels have left 4 on base. Seattle with 2 runs, 4 hits. Gutierrez fouls this one off. Mariners have stranded 4 as well. You may have seen the last of Felix Hernandez, but the Mariners having some action going in the bullpen out in left center. But you never know with Felix. Gutierrez lines one out to deep left field. It'll draw the Mariners closer. His 13th of the year, and it's a 4-3 lead.
Well, he brought his hands in very well on that fastball in the inside corner. 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Salas. Tried to go inside, but he brought his hands inside and got the barrel of the bat on that fastball. Gets that ball well out to left center field.
Miller fouls this one off. As an 0-1 count, the center fielder's 0-2 with a strikeout and a pop-up. Oh, 2. Ground ball to second. Well down. Mentioned that the Rangers walked off on the Houston Astros. Mitch Moreland with a sacrifice fly, giving Texas the victory. And moving them into first place in the American League West. They were tied for first on April the 11th with a 3-3 record. So Minnesota lost to Detroit. So the Angels gain a game in the wild card standings against Minnesota. Houston now a half game back.
They've been in first place for a long, long time.
The battle of the silver boot in the Lone Star State. Still 2 more to play. It's a 4-game series in Arlington. I think Dallas Keuchel's on the mound tomorrow for Houston. Logan Morrison pinch hitting here for Jesus Sucre. Swings and fouls it back. Sucre finishes the night going 0 for 2. Morrison, the primary first baseman all season long for Seattle.
Well, the Rangers were in first place back last time they were in first, April 11th. They were 3-3.
One ball, one strike. Cardinals running out quickly. Morrison last night ended up going 0 for 2 with a couple of walks and a run scored. Four 3 Angels. Bottom of the 7th. Franklin Gutierrez with his 13th home run of the season to lead off the 7th. How big is that run standing at second base in the top of the 7th? Morrison looks at a strike. Carlos Perez, a lead-off double. And Featherston unable to advance him. Struck out Murphy. Felix did anyways. And Calhoun grounded out.
Yeah, you got to add on when you're facing somebody like Felix Hernandez and you got a chance to get a guy to third and then bring him home, even with an out, sac fly. You need to get that done.
Morrison bounces this one over to Featherston. 2 outs. So back to the top of the order now. Marte, the shortstop, coming up. 2 for 3 night for the speedy shortstop. A couple of singles and a strikeout.
Another conversation between Salas and Perez. This is more of a situation where you're trying to take some time to allow the bullpen to get ready. Some movement down there. Got Wright and Gott both getting ready, lefty righty.
Another ground ball to second. That's the 3rd out of the inning, but Franklin Gutierrez draws the Mariners within a 1. We'll head to the 8th with the Angels up 4-3.
Eighth here in Seattle, Angels leading the Mariners 4-3, and Mike Trout due to lead off this 8th inning on Patrick O'Neill. Hopefully the Angels can hang on. Very tight game here in Seattle, so we have some more optimism to talk about in our Angels Live postgame show. We'll be joined by Jose Mota. Of course, we'll talk about Mike Trout, the miscommunication between Taylor Featherston and Eric Ibar. But I think going back to what Victor and Mark, what you guys are talking about regarding the leadership with David Freese, creating that spark, that energy, and I can see it looking into that Angels dugout right now. There's some edge going on. They know how important this game is. Back to you guys.
Well, every game the rest of the way, Patrick, is so important, especially as you see the two teams ahead of you continuing to play winning baseball, and the Angels do have their platter right in front of them. They've got 4 games coming up against Minneapolis, against Minnesota Twins, I should say, in Minneapolis over the weekend, and then you've got 3 in Houston against the Astros, as Mike Trout set to lead things off here in the 8th.
And now it's time for the top tier play of the game, brought to you by Arco. Back in the 6th inning, Mike Trout on an 0-2 pitch. Goes upstairs with a fastball and connects with the barrel of the bat, a home run off of Felix Hernandez, his 4th of his career for Trout, 36th of the season for Mike Trout.
It's 2, 3, and 4 for the Halos here in the 8th inning. They're facing a new pitcher. It's right-hander Tony Zick, 25-year-old, native of Illinois, from the University of Louisville. Delivers strike one. He's pitched in 5 big league games this year. No record of .540 ERA, 4 runs, 6 hits, and 6 2/3 innings. Trout lifts one out to 7. 1 out. Zick was purchased from the Chicago Cubs early April this year. Originally a 4th-round pick of the Cubs back in 2011. Pitched in AAA this year, 25 games. 1-2 record, a 3.41 ERA, strictly out of the bullpen. He's never had a start professionally. Pujols fouls off the first one. No balls and strike. Albert 0 for 3. Now 0 for his last 11. 2 ground down to the fly ball to right. Pretty good little giddy up on his fastball there. Started the season at AA, finished at AAA, now here at the big leagues for the first time. Slider, foul back.
Pretty good break on his slider also.
Little bouncer back toward the mound. 2 outs. Follow the Angels the rest of the season with MLB.com at bat. #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet today. 2 up, 2 down. Here's C.J. Cron, who's 0 for 2. Dylan Hernandez, by the way, 7 innings tonight, 5 hits, including 2 home runs, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. All 4 runs earned. Also hit a batter, and that was Freese. To bouncer back to the mound. Go down in order and very quietly. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. It's 4-3 Halo. The Data Strong Fan photo of the game. Tweet us your strongest fan photo to hashtag West Data Strong Fan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast, and it's brought to you by T-Mobile. 4-3, Angels lead it. Bottom of the 8th inning. It's Trevor Gott pitching the 8th. 38th game of the year, 2-2 record, a 2.95 ERA. No Joe Smith, as we've been accustomed to seeing pretty much all season long. Matt Salas pitched the 7th, gave up the home run to the leadoff hitter Franklin Gutierrez, but nothing more than got 3 straight ground ball outs. Seattle sending up Seager, Cruz, and Cano here in the 8th inning. That's 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, in a conversation with Joe Smith today. Yesterday, probably not available, but today said he was feeling good.
Could be a situation where Houston Street gets the night off if you get to that point of the 9th inning. Joe pitches the 9th. We shall find out. It's all secretive nowadays.
Yeah.
We find out as you do.
Yes. Even all the time we spend down there in the dugout talking, finding these things out.
No balls, 2 strikes on Seager. 0 for 2. A couple of fly balls to right and a walk.
Certainly good life on his fastball tonight for Gott. 98. Last 2 pitches at 98.
Seager strikes out, swinging for the first down here in the 8th.
That good action, sink, lateral action. Gott, a good fastball hitter to punch out there.
Foul tip into the mid. 1 out. Here's Nelson Cruz, a 1 for 3 game. Homering in the first inning of Nick Tropiano. Tropiano going 5 innings, 2 runs, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. Still the pitcher of record for the Angels. Broken bat rolling to third. Freeze has it. Across the diamond, 2 down. Base is clear for Robinson Cano, the second baseman. 0 for 2 with a walk. Trevor pitched in Sunday's game. He pitched the scoreless 7th. Kentucky boy going with no sleeves here on this cool night.
Like it.
Two and 0. Wants to do baseball. Two-0 now. Cano fouls it off a little bit late. 2-1.
That's how good of a fastball Gott has. Robinson Cano late on a fastball count 2-0.
Three balls at a strike. Ball 4. So now Seth Smith will bat with a man on and 2 outs. The old dreaded 2-out walk.
Bring up a very good fastball hitter now in Seth Smith.
James Jones will pinch run for Robinson Cano. Sure, we'll have plenty of throws over to first now. One stolen base this year at the major league level. Smith tonight 0 for 3.
You got to believe Jones is going to be going early, because if you're taking out Robinson Cano when you're down by 1, I could see that maybe if it's tied. When you're down by 1, you better be trying to steal a base right away. So you've taken one of the best hitters in all of baseball out of the game at this point.
No doubles alignment in the outfield for the Angels. Jones doesn't go on the first pitch, and it's an 0-1 count on Smith.
Key always as a pitcher, hold the ball, vary your times, maybe a slide step. Now you have an option if you're Mike Scioscia on a pitch out, because you've gotten ahead of the count.
Jones started to go, then stopped. The bouncer to Crone. Inning over. 8 complete here in Seattle. The Angels maintaining their 4-3 lead.
Mariners 4-3 here at the top of the 9th inning. And now it's time for In the Driver's Seat, brought to you by Kia. David Murphy, big 3-run home run in the 3rd inning, his 4th career home run off of King Felix. First start in that leadoff spot since 2010. He's with the Rangers, and Mike Scioscia said that today when he was asked, is this a permanent thing? He said there's a strong possibility that it will be for the rest of the season.
Eric Ibar to lead things off. Zick still in the game. He had a 1-2-3-8 as Ibar fouls it off. We've been kind of saying that about David Murphy anyway since he came over. He should be playing every day. Shane Victorino's got some starts left. But of the 3 guys that the Angels acquired, Murphy's the guy that's still an everyday play. One would think.
And he's made some good contact. He's been pretty consistent.
Eric with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. He's 0 for 3 today with a fly ball to left and a couple of groundouts. Both teams with 5 hits. James Jones, by the way, pitch ran for Robinson Cano, stays in the game. He's in center. Brad Miller moves from center over to second. Seattle in the ninth will have Trumbo, Gutierrez, and Miller. Due up. Ibar lifts one out the left. Franklin moves over. One down. And, see Franklin right there, just beyond him. And the left field waltz, Joe Smith getting ready.
It's like we thought when you didn't see Joe Smith in that 8th inning. Yeah, you're going to see Joe Smith with an opportunity to close it out today. Saw Mike Scioscia and Mike Butcher asking Houston Street how he was feeling today, and saying he's feeling better. So give him another day. Be back in that closing role hopefully tomorrow with an opportunity to pick up a save.
Both guys, Smith and Street, pitched all 3 games over the weekend. Houston also pitched Wednesday's game. 4 straight games for him. You know, there was an off day. No balls, 2 strikes. Freeze hit by a pitch in the 3rd, a ground out in the 4th, and a strikeout looking in the 6th. Breaking pitch, fouled off.
I'm sure the reporters are going to go in there and ask right away what David Freese had said when he got hit by that pitch by Felix Hernandez back in the 3rd inning, and eventually where the Angels scored 3 runs and a 3-run home run by David Murphy kind of sparked that bench.
Count remains at 0-2. And I'm sure David will be really forthcoming with exactly what he said.
Oh, there's no question. He probably he'll say, I turn up, oh, that thing hurt.
Yeah. Golly gee, fellas, let's go. Whatever works. Perez singled, then Murphy had that 3-run blast. Give the Angels a 3-1 lead at that point. Seattle got one back in the 4th. Freeze with a base at the right.
Let's see a pinch runner now.
It's Caleb Coward. He'll stay in the game and play 3rd. So a man on with 1 out. Here's Carlos Perez. Tonight with his first big league 3-hit game. A single and 2 doubles.
High fives and hugs in there for Freese. He gets back to that dugout. And you wonder if Mike Scioscia won't again try a hit and run. Especially how well Carlos has swung the bat here tonight.
First base runner against Zick. Retired the first 4 batters he faced. Felix Hernandez worked 7 innings tonight, giving up the 4 runs. Carlos looks at a fastball for a strike. A little bit bigger lead for Coward. He takes off. Perez is swinging a miss to throw down to second. Coward is called out. He wants Mike Scioscia to look at him.
Yeah, he doesn't think he was tagged on that one.
A little sweep tag by Marte, the shortstop. They're going to wave him back in. 2 outs.
Yeah, it looks like he got him just before he got his foot on the base. And you're a situation where there's a hit and run being put on. It's very difficult for the runner. You're going to make sure that pitch is delivered home first.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Perez. Full count. Featherston on deck. Here's 3-2. Carlos bounces a foul. Trumbo, Gutierrez, and Miller due up for Seattle in the ninth to face Joe Smith. Three-two again. Carlos goes down swinging, and we will head to the bottom of the ninth inning. The Angels clinging to a 1-run lead. Beyond Fox returns with the Subway Series as the wild card leading Yankees take on the National League East leading Mets. Then the Royals square off against the Tigers in a game you can only see on FS1. Coverage begins at 9:30 a.m. Pacific on Fox at 4 p.m. Pacific on FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Joe Smith takes over in the ninth here. The Angels up 4-3. Joe is now pitching in his 66th game. Has 2 saves this year. 5-5 record, a 3.69 ERA. We mentioned the guys that he's getting ready to face. He's got 2 right-handers to start, and then a left-handed batter in Brad Miller. Caleb Coward stays in the game. He is in at third base. Efrain Navarro enters the game at first. No other changes for the Angels. Mark Trumbo tonight 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts and a fly ball to left. One ball, one strike. One and two.
Tried to stay back on that slider, but could not do so. Speed differential from the fastball to that slider was 8-mile-an-hour difference. That pitch was up in the strike zone for Joe, with the speed had Trumbo out in front.
Down goes Trumbo, one away. Well, a little bit upstairs on that last one.
Yeah, another high slider. See the target where Carlos wanted that pitch. Again, the speed of that pitch had him pulled and out in front.
Franklin Gutierrez drew the Mariners within one with his leadoff home run off Salas in the 7th. 13th of the year. He will take a look at ball one. Fastball in for a strike. Evens the count.
It's a perfect pitch there. 89-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner for Joe. Good action on this one. Brings it back and catches that corner, or part of that strike zone.
Slider outside. Evens the count of 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tropiano, 5 innings, 2 runs. Alvarez, a scoreless inning. Salas gave up the home run and got a scoreless 8th. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Gutierrez. 2 down.
Another punch out on a slider. Tropiano waiting, trying to get that last out. He's trying to pull that slider, but the speed on that one from 89 to 80. Not necessarily the perfect location for Joe, but it's been the speed so far on that slider as compared to his fastball.
Yeah, the old backup slider. Danger zone for right-handed batter. Here's Brad Miller. 2 outs, nobody on. 4-3 Halos. Trying to even up this series at a game apiece. Miller lets the bat fly for the 2nd time tonight. And it's a 0-1 count.
Lost the handle. That's twice on a very similar swing the last time he lost the handle of the bat. I went by the first base coach's box. This one by Navarro at first base.
Backdoor slider missing down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two-one pitch. Caught the inside corner. 2-2.
Perez setting up away, but that fastball clearly gets the inside part of the plate.
Two-two pitch. Miller hits him back off the mound and into center. It's a 2-out single. So the tying run at first base, and Sean O'Malley is going to come up and pinch hit here. O'Malley 10 for 24 this year. Switch hitter and former Angel coming to the plate. Did not play today. Remember yesterday, diving back to second base. His hit on a throw by Carlos Perez got him in the side of the head. Helmet flew off. Miller with 12 stolen bases has been caught 4 times. So good speed at first.
It's got to make him stop there. That's what you want to try to do.
Off speed, first strike. Joe striking out Trumbo and Gutierrez to start off this 9th inning, and a 2-out single by Miller. He's over at first with a good lead. 1-1. 1-2.
Good backdoor slider. Joe Smith now ahead of the count, can expand the strike zone.
Quick throw to first, Miller back. One-two from Smith. O'Malley takes just off the plate. Even to count up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. The leadoff man is shortstop Ketel Marte is on deck. Like this inning continues. 2-2. What an emergency hack, just protected right there. Shot one toward the Angels dugout.
Luckily, you have that protection in front of the guys in the dugout. That was right at him. He's trying to stay alive in the at-bat.
Another 2-2. O'Malley goes down swinging, light that baby up as the Angels take game 2 by the final of 4-3.
What a nice job by the Angels all the way through, especially the pitching staff. Nick Tropiano, nice job beating Seattle and King Felix. Now 2-2 on the season. Joe Smith picking up his 3rd save, a 3-run home run by David Murphy, and a solo shot by Mike Trout, his 36th of the season. Both guys have had success against King Felix in their career, both now 4 home runs against Felix Hernandez.
In the American League West, the Angels 4 back, with the Rangers sitting atop the division with their victory tonight over the Houston Astros. They pick up a half game in the wild card standings, 3.5 back now, the 2nd wild card spot. Tomorrow we wrap up this series before heading off to Minneapolis, as the Angels, I should say, will play the Twins over the weekend. The Rangers still have 2 more games to play against the Houston Astros. A big win for the Angels tonight just against Felix Hernandez. He had allowed 2 runs in his 4 starts against the Angels prior to tonight. Gave up 4 tonight.
Yeah, 3-run home run and a solo shot. The home run ball, that's the only way they've been able to score against him. So 4 home runs hit against him, but 2 home runs tonight produces 4 runs for Mike Scioscia's club. He moved him up to that first spot in the lineup, but David Murphy came through with a 3-run home run.
Carlos Perez had a nice game, his first big league 3-hit game, but Murphy set the tone with that 3-run blast. Felix Hernandez leading things off for the Angels. He's down on the field right now with Jose Mota.
Thanks, Victor. Well, you come into the clubhouse today, big game. Angels with their back against the wall, and you're leading off. Were you surprised?
I mean, maybe a little bit surprised. It's not a place that I've hit in a long time, but it's not like you really have to do anything different. At the end of the day, you go play baseball.
Well, Mike Swisher was hoping it would be different, is that one swing from you will make a difference, and it did. What has allowed you to have success against Felix Hernandez?
I don't know. I guess consistently facing him, being in the same division for a long time. The more that you face a pitcher, the more opportunity you have to see his pitches, to make the adjustments, and he's got a great changeup. That one he happened to leave on the inner part of the plate and probably didn't get it down like he wanted to. And I just got it off the end. I guess if baseball is a game of inches, that definitely rings true today, because that barely got out, and if it doesn't get out, who knows how many runs we score that inning. Let's
talk about pitching and Nick Tropiano, the big lift a young pitcher provides for you guys. How big is that?
It's great. He's got good stuff. He's he was working down with his fastball today. He's got a good changeup, and he did exactly what we needed him to.
You have any advice for the guys in there, since you've been through this before?
Just I think a night like tonight is exactly what we needed to kind of jumpstart us a little bit. We played well over the weekend. We had a tough game Sunday, and last night we just straight up got beat. So baseball could be a tough game sometimes, and tonight we're back to our old selves, and hopefully we can just build on that.
Thank you. Very nice job.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
David Murphy gets it done for the Angels. One swing is all Sosha needed. He got it. 4th career home run against Felix Hernandez. We'll be back. Angels Live. Patrick O'Neill. All presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers right after this.